We are now entering, or we are in Batu Arang, but we are now coming to the place where you must stop for security check. And the police, the security guards will check your ICs. Everyone's IC would be checked. Very heavy checking at this point.
In 1913, coal was discovered at Batu Arang, with the mining of coal there beginning in 1915. In 1916, a company called Malayan Collieries supplied coal to two of the largest European tin mines in Malaya. Until 1942, output was sufficient to supply the full coal requirements of the railways, power stations, and tin dredges in the country. But the coal mines suffered severely from neglect and damage during the Japanese occupation of Malaya.
In British Malaya, Japan saw within its grasp a land rich in resources. Coal and iron were piled up in mountains, easy to reach and easy to mine.
Due to a lack of demand, on January 30, 1960, Malayan Collieries Limited was closed down. No coal has been mined in Malaya since, and the Batu Arang mine pits have since been flooded.
From 1947, the Japanese captured this town. Whoever wanted to capture Malaya, they captured Batu Arang first because they wanted to cut off this and control this power supply.
The quiet Batu Arang is hometown of former All Malaya Estate Staff Union Secretary General Jiwi Kathiyah. According to Jiwi, during its heyday, Batu Arang was a fountain of peace and a cauldron of revolutionary spirit, all at the same time. This coal mine town is no longer the busy and important town that it was in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. During the emergency, at halfway points, there were formidable security checks. Nowadays, you see only a small part of the wall of the security post lying hidden in the bushes. The people of Batu Arang then had to carry two identity cards, red and green cards issued by Malayan Collieries Limited and the national identity card. Without the Batu Arang card, no one could enter the town.
Where you see that timber impregnation plant, that's why it used to be there. The plywood factory, the sawmill.
Do you want to go inside there?
Cannot, there's nothing there now.
Oh.
Batu Arang was the birthplace of many radical unions. The Coal Workers' Union had a leading role in some of the largest strikes of the period when they protested over their working conditions and poor wages. The first strike took place at Batu Arang in November 1936, but the most spectacular strike was that at the Batu Arang coal mines from March 24th to March 27th, 1937. The most serious episode broke out on March 24, 1937, when the communists organized a strike of 6,000 laborers. They then set up Malaya's first Soviet government on March 27, 1937, with authority vested in a strike committee. On March 26, some 250 police and 200 Malay troops were sent in to raid the mines, resulting in 2 people killed and 116 arrested. By April 2, 1937, the Batu Arang Soviet was crushed ruthlessly. During the 1945 strike, it was reported that S.A. Ganapathy, who later became president of the Pan-Malayan Federation of Trade Unions, was in Batu Arang. He, however, was later captured and hanged in 1949 by the British. It would seem that the battle-hardened coal miners of Batu Arang acquired and exhibited a spirit that was said to be common to all coal miners throughout the world: defiance. That spirit of defiance was time and again demonstrated by the people of Batu Arang, be they Chinese, Indians, or Malays, young or old, men or women. It is still evident today in some of the old residents of Batu Arang. The company provided living quarters for its workers. Those quarters were made of bricks and tiles from the company's brickwork factory also in Batu Arang. Though some of the quarters appear damaged, the bricks and tiles still remain strong.
It was one of the busiest center. Lots of people were working here. It was a 24-hour shift, 3 shifts, and they do everything from stage 1 to final stage, production of bricks and tiles. And it was said to be the best factory in Southeast Asia at the time. They used to send the bricks and tiles all the way to Singapore and to other parts of the country. At the end of this wall and the other side of the hospital, leading to the bungalows up there. Now the hospital is missing. I don't see it. We must find a way to go and look for it, It's a big one, very, very big hospital with a number of wards. I know about 13 wards, separate wards, and the main hospital building. That's the white building,
During the Second World War, to meet the fuel shortage, the company's chemist, Hariharan Iyer, extracted biofuel from the sawdust.
This was the laboratory headed by one Mr. Iyer, a famous figure who used to walk from here to his house and the other side. Everybody knows Iyer is on the road, with the, those called the British hat.
The adjacent brick wall with tree roots hanging from the top is said to be the cover for an underground tunnel.
This is the one, it's a secret. The gold has now matured or what, we don't know yet, but it's still there.
That in the coal deposits down there, gold traces had been found. But nothing is definite about this, and the entrance to the underground tunnel has remained sealed ever since.
I don't know what they're going to do, but it's preserved. This was exactly what it was some 50 years ago. It remains the same. And now you see all the trees have grown and have cleared the thing.
There are a few places which still mean a lot for the people of Batu Arang: the football field, the club, the Union Theatre, and the Trade Union Office. The Union Theatre is no more. It used to screen films in all languages. The building that housed the Trade Union Office in the 40s has long since been demolished. There is no longer a club. It is now the MCA's kindergarten. The steps and the field have witnessed many school and public activities. Many rallies have also been held there. Trade union and political party speeches had been delivered from these very steps. Another grand celebration held there was the Indian Independence Day on August 15, 1947.
From these steps, number of public declarations had been made, as far as I could remember, from the mid-1940s onwards. For instance, on 1st February 1948, the Federation of Malaya Agreement was read out from these steps by the representative of the 3 schools in Batu Arang: the Tamil school, the Chinese school, and the English school. And we used to play for English school, our hockey training all here. And one day I played hockey and I pulled one fella down by the stick. My hockey trainer, big Chinese, big size, gave me a bloody tight slap. I saw all the stars. And that day I threw the stick away, refused to play. It keeps you energetic, driving, and provided the opportunity to know lots of things, open discussion, all revolutionary kind of things. I learned not to be conservative, accept things for what it is, and bow down to others, Here it's all a challenge. I challenge to that extent. I got even a Tamil school teacher dismissed, And I never felt you must obey, must be obedient and things like defiant. The idea is a defiant of spirit. The spirit of defiance, it was here all the time. And that, in fact, that spirit nurtured us,
Batu Arang has certainly seen its ups and downs. But this little town, although it looks a bit tired, still retains its beauty. This forgotten town, which witnessed some of the country's most popular labor strikes and demonstrations, is also home to many prominent leaders past and present. Today, it silently holds many untold stories of our history.